Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Science TV 1 p.m. News. I am your host, Ben Warangai, and Sign Language Interpreting the voicing is Gideon Minor. On to our first news item. China and Kenya have once again affirmed their continuous strengthening diplomatic and economic relationship as Beijing celebrates the 76th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The time and the occasion was used by both nations to highlight the deepening partnership that spans crucial sectors like infrastructure, trade, and development cooperation. The mutual reaffirmation signals a strong commitment from both Nairobi and Beijing to further enhance their strategic collaboration in the coming years.
Marks a new chapter of continuity and new progress in our bilateral relations. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties, we two nations have respected and supported each other. We have built our cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative, a hallmark of bilateral relations. China offers great potential for investment and consumption. Embracing China is embracing opportunities. Believing in China is believing in better tomorrow. And investing in China is investing in the future.
Kenya has a delegation negotiating its portion of arrangement with the Chinese government, and we hope that in a few weeks' time we shall be able to report progress indicating that we have struck a deal within the free preferential trade arrangement. We are also in consultation so that we can have the dual carriaging of the road, Rironi-Mau Summit, then Mau Summit to Malaba, so that all these, again, can enhance our trade arrangements with our partners.
The Election Commission has implemented a significant technological upgrade to its voter registration process, introducing iris recognition as a method of capturing citizens' biometric data for the first time. This new system, which records highly unique eye data, is intended to be a major step in enhancing the integrity and accuracy of the national voter roll. The move has sparked widespread concerns over data privacy and the potential for misuse of this personal information. Hence, day one of voter registration drive struggled to gain momentum, recording a low turnout.
Niliamua nikuje nishike yangu kwa maana nataka mabadiliko katika uchaguzi ujao.
Remember, the election is in 2027 and we are supposed to register citizens, eligible voters for a period up to 8 months before the general elections. That's when we will close the registration process.
Hili ni jukumu letu. It is an act of responsibility. Ikifika wakati tumeshapiga kura, basi tutadai haki yetu.
Sisi pia kwa upande ya registration ya voters, we are guided also by the Data Protection Act and of course the laws governing privacy.
Tumefika huku tuwezi tukakata mpaka after by election ndio tutaweza kukata hiyo kura. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kukata kura ndio at least we try to change Baringo County.
Professor Fred Ogolla on Monday officially launched his presidential advisory team, a group he has dubbed Evolve. The team's immediate focus is to address several pressing national crises. According to Professor Ogolla, the Evolve team is specifically mandated to resolve current issues deeply affecting Kenyans, including challenges related to the Social Health Authority, SHA, the protracted lecturers' strike, the discrepancies in education capitation, among other issues. Addressing the press, the professor asserted that he is concerned about the state of governance, claiming that many politicians are prioritizing personal gain over national duty. Professor Ogolla stressed that their strategy goes beyond simply diagnosis. He explained that after they uncover Kenyans' core challenges, their main tool will be the creation of decent jobs to fundamentally improve the lives of every citizen.
Fellow Kenyans, I am Professor Fred Ogolla. Today I present to you Team Evolve. Why are we saying we present you Team Evolve? Kenya is at crossroads. Kenya is at crossroads because nothing seems to be working in Kenya. You ask anybody who has visited hospital this morning, this afternoon, they'll tell you it's not working. Education sector is not working. Lecturers are on strike. I'm a lecturer as well. That's my profession. You look at the infrastructure in this country, it's not working. Public services is not working. So we are here to answer the question, why is it not working? There's nothing working in Kenya because those politicians you have employed do not consume public services. They do not have SHA. The entire executive, led by the president, are not on SHA. So how can SHA work when the consumers are not consuming SHA? The judiciary, if you ask, tell me even Chief Justice, they are not on SHA. If they are on SHA, let them present their SHA number. If you go even to the parliament, parliament is not on SHA. And I can tell you, parliament are getting 10 million shillings per MP for their healthcare. Some of them, just their teeth is insured to an amount of 450,000 per year. Yet Kenyans, even their heart is not insured. So it's not working because the people who should make it work are not consuming that product. Education sector is not working because the families of those politicians you employ don't consume public education. They educate their children in a country like Australia, like the current CS of education of Treasury, the daughter graduated in Australia. Now, how can he write a check to capitation in a secondary school who does not believe in a Kenyan education system and he sends their children to study in Australia? There's a governor who gave birth outside the country. And that is why it is not working. It will start working when they are consuming the same services and products. Secondly, infrastructure is not working. Because of what? They take public money to buy four-wheel drive that can pass through a mtaro. So why can they fix a road if they have a means to pass through a mtaro? When in this our government under Evolve, it will become illegal to use public money to buy private services and consume and leave Kenyans languishing in public services which do not work. The second reason why we are presenting ourselves before you Kenyans is that there is no decent living for Kenyans. There is no decent living in Kenyans because we have politicians who do politics but don't do governance. governance ni nini? Politics is to get power. But governance is to use power to serve the people of Kenya. Use power to bring healthcare, bring education, be able to bring for guys self-services, register lands, ensure people have passports and IDs. They use politics to earn themselves a fortune. They don't use politics to do governance to offer people solutions. And before I end, I want to say that Kenya is still operating as if we're in the 4th BC, when Jesus fed 5,000 with 5 fish and 2 loaves. They are only feeding 5,000. Every president comes in, brings his 5,000, feeds them, and goes. The first president fed the 5,000. Moi akasema nitafuata nyayo, akafeed 5,000. Then the third president fed 5,000. They don't know that in the 21st century, now we have 56 million Kenyans. If Jesus was here, angefeed 56 million, not 5,000. We are here to evolve from feeding 5,000 to 56 million Kenyans. Because everyone else is hungry, only politicians are happy. And I want to say that because of that, we have discovered there's one single problem that if you solve, everybody will be happy. And that is decent job for everybody. A woman whom I met on Saturday in Kibra told me a very painful story. He had a son who received a phone call that his brother had died in UAE for working kazi maju. In UAE is a maid. And they have no passport to go to UAE to see their brother who is dead there. They don't have fare to go there. Like when you go to UAE, you go to something worse than prison. Hata watu kwa jela wanga wanatembelewa. Wewe uko UAE, uwezi tembelewa, uwezi fikiwa, unakufa huko, hakuna pesa kuregesha, alafu serikali nasema kazi majuu. Our most important policy in Evolve will be about economy that will produce job for everyone. So Kenyans can do anything with what they want. And because this is a team.
Opposition Chief Kalonzo Musyoka has severely criticized the Kenya Kwanza government for its failure to resolve the ongoing nationwide strike by university lecturers, which has now entered its 3rd week. Musyoka, the Wiper Patriotic Front party leader, argued that the government's inability to resolve the standoff clearly indicates a regime that is not keen on addressing the crisis facing the education sector. He specifically pointed to the president's problem of delayed capitation to universities and the confusion surrounding the implementation of the new student funding model as key example of this negligence. Musyoka delivered his sharp remarks during a meeting with university students where he used the current academic disruption to mobilize political support. He called upon the youth to actively participate in the democratic process by registering as voters and throwing their weight behind the united opposition campaign.
Our education system is in shambles. Some of our best minds in this country are university lecturers, university teachers. These are the dons. How do you get 10,000 of them to go demonstrating? Something has gone wrong.
It cannot be that a government promised us free education, and the moment they got in, they made education the most expensive commodity in this country.
William Samoei Ruto alikuwa anapewa pesa ya boom. When he was in the university, the education was free, accommodation was free, chakula ilikuwa bure, hostel ilikuwa bure, na alikuwa anapewa pesa. Why is he harassing Kenyan students?
If you are taken to do engineering, you pay higher according to this funding model, correct? If you are going to do medicine, you pay even higher, correct? We are therefore now disadvantaging some of the brightest.
In 2027, Kalonzo ametosha hajatosha. Kama alikuwa Azimio, Kalonzo alikuwa mzuri. Saizi kama Kalonzo ako opposition, sasa Kalonzo ni mbaya. Kalonzo amekosa nini so far? Amekosa nini so far? Ati tukisema pia Kalonzo tosha, ati babu ni mbaya. Mbaya what?
Tension is high within the United Opposition Coalition as member parties accuse the Jubilee Party of deliberately acting as a state project intended to split the opposition vote. The central bank, the internal rift comes as the coalition attempts to consolidate its strength against the current administration. The conflict intensified after Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni issued explosive claims alleging that DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua is secretly collaborating with the government while publicly maintaining the guise of an opposition figure. Kioni's allegation suggests a deliberate political ploy to weaken the coalition within, using prominent figures and parties to sow division and undermine the united front against the ruling power.
Kama United Opposition, na tumekubaliana tutatoa candidate moja wa kung'ang'ana na William Ruto.
I've said several times before, we are betting on our differences. You will lose your bet for sure, because we are not going to disagree.
Na tumekataa wheelbarrow ile ya yellow. Sasa iko ka wheelbarrow anatengeneza ya blue. Anatengeneza ingine ya rangi ingine ya green ya nini? Mtakubali wheelbarrow? Wangapi wanasema Kasongo hawezi kudanganya sisi tena? Sasa huyu Kasongo amepanga jama ya kutawanyisha opposition.
Mambo hii ya kusema ati chama hii ni ya upande hii, chama ni ya upande hii, chama ni ya upande hii. La, wacha tuwe na national parties ambazo zinaunganishwa kwa sababu ya sera, lakini sio kwa sababu ya pahali ambapo zimetoka.
If you see any of us akiteleza, huyo mjue ni nani? Msaliti.
Waliamua one time.